Yeah. So, hello everyone. Good morning and good evening. So, let's start today's session. Okay. So, yep. So, I have started this client and server. Okay. So, I got application back. So, here we have discussed about menswear, kidswear, and all. We have made up to the orders. Okay. So, this part is done. So, checkout. Actually, for checkout is required the login setup. So, without login, you can't check out. Okay. So thing is, let's focus on a login system today. Okay. So we have not done the login and registration. So let's make the login and registration, and so we'll do this part now. Okay. So and also we have not done the what the backend part also. We have not done the backend part for login registration. So if you can see the backend router, user router. So we have taken the user router, but nothing has implemented here. Okay, so for login registration and get user information and update user address and all, we have not done anything. Okay, so let's start for registration a user here first backend. So first we start with the backend and then we'll do the ngrx and then we'll do the components for form validation and then calling ngrx with the backend. Okay, this is a long story. Okay, the complete authentication system we'll see now. Okay, so register a user. We have name, email, password, confirm password. Do we have that? That's only password. Then that's not required. A single password is enough. Okay, so name, email, password. So here I have to register. So for registration, you have to do some sort of validation and you have to perform like you have to check the gravatar and you have to convert the password to the encoded password and also long story it is, right? So let's make that now and yeah, let's forget about the front end. We'll just do the back end part now. Okay, so here I guess do we have a table setup? One second, huh? If you go to models, users, yes, we have a table setup. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, okay, fine. Okay, fine. Now so address actually an object only. It's not an array. Address is an object. Oh, wait, something went wrong. Hmm. Okay, address is also an object only. Okay, fine. Now let's start with the user router. User router. So we need that user table. So constant user is equal to require dot slash models slash user. And I also need multiple things like one is bcrypt. Bcrypt is equal to require bcrypt.js, and we need JWT for token generation. So require JSON web token. We need constant gravatar is equal to require gravatar. I also need um, something is required. Bcrypt, JWT, gravatar, and we also need this server-side form validation require express validator. So here we need two things actually. One is the body and validation result. Okay, so these things required. Okay, fine. And now let's start with the user registration. So for registration, I have to first check the fields is empty or not. Just name, email, and password fields are empty or not. Just check only that one. So I write here. I just say check. No, I just make an array in that body of name dot not empty dot with message. The message will be just oh sorry, no semicolon. Okay, so name is required. Okay, if name is not substituted, so same way I just make it for email. So email is required, and this is for password. So password is required. Okay, done. Next, here I just take it as asynchronous. So inside I don't need to make this setup. I want to make something more. Okay, so what I do is I just write a try catch. Okay, so before try, let me just check the validation results. Okay, so let's errors is equal to validation result of request. Okay, so now if errors dot is empty. Okay, if errors are not empty, then it contains a validation result. It contains the errors information. Okay, if not empty. So I just say return because it has to come out from the loop because it won't carry forward for the next line. So it just return statements. Return response dot status 401 unauthorized dot JSON. I provide with what errors dot array. Okay, instead I'll do like this. I just make an object. Errors will be errors dot array. Okay, this way you handle, and if everything goes perfect, so you can catch the whole data from the form. So name, email, and password. So I just say like this. Let user um, or you can do like this. Let something is equal to request dot body. Okay, so from request dot body, from the form I fetch the name and the email and the password. Okay, so name, email, password I can able to catch from the form. So once I get name, email, and password, so what I do is first you have to check a lot of things. Watch. So before you proceed, I will check if the user already exists or not. If the user is already exists or not. If already exists, you don't create a new user. Okay, you just return. And if user is not exist, then you can start doing the things. Along with name and email and password, we also need some extra things. For example, if you go to users table, I need name, email, password is okay. I need avatar, and first of all, password have to convert to encode the password. Okay, encrypt the password. Encrypt the password you have to do, and you have to perform a gravatar, gravatar for email, and also admin false. You just have to make the admin false, and empty address also required. So once a person has registered, that time he is not able to update the address. So update address happens in the profile page. So I just want to make at least for empty data because all are required fields, and that's it. And then you have to store into database. These many checks you have to do. Yeah, so first of all, check user already exists or not. How to check? mm, Let user is equal to capital user. I just write await user dot find one provided with the email with my email. Okay, so I just check with the email is any person is this or not. Okay, if the user is exist, if user is already exists, then I return the statement. So return just come out from the loop, because if user already exists, then you can't able to create a new user with the same name. Okay, same email id. So return um, uh, response dot status 401 unauthorized dot JSON. So JSON provided with an object, let's say errors. Let's take an array because according to this one, errors array. So in that array, I'll just take something. Message will be user is already exist. User is already exist. Fine. It just come out from the loop. So if not, then proceed to the next level. So first of all, you have to encrypt the password. How to encrypt the password? So let salt is equal to await bcrypt dot gen salt of 10 rounds. Okay, not get salt. I think gen salt of 10 rounds. Okay, so then let's let's do like this directly. Password is equal to await bcrypt dot um what is this hash hash the password and the salt. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking the existing password from the form and also the salt. I just converting to hash code and that I'm storing with my existing password variable only. Okay, keep into this existing only. Next, so gravatar. How to get the gravatar? So let's. I think it's avatar or image. What is that? Avatar. Okay. So let's avatar is equal to gravatar dot URL. You have to provide the email. Okay, the email what you have provided along with some options. What options you provide is options will be um, options will be S stands for the size 200 and R for rating. Just say PD and what else? Not PD or PG. Okay, default image will be mm. Okay, fine. So this is the one. Okay, avatar and then admin. Yeah, let's is admin is equal to false. So whoever register by default, everyone will be non-admin user. So database administrator make them as a admin manually. So empty address. So I have to take an empty address because every person have an address object with a flat street and all. So let's make them empty at least. But empty. If I take empty also, all are required fields no. So what can we do? Okay, I write something. So let address is equal to an object in that flat just some empty space I'll write. Okay, flat many things are there na. Street, landmark, city, state, street, landmark, city, state, and country pin mobile. Country, country pin, pin mobile. Mobile also string only. Yeah, so we have taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Pin 3, 3, 2. Here 3, 3, 2. Correct. Okay, fine. Created not required. It's just a default value. That's fine. Okay. So once you have done everything, you have to store into database. So how to store is I say user is equal to new user provided with all the fields. So first name is required, email and password. So this password itself contains the encoded password here. Okay, and also same order, right? Password avatar is admin address. Okay, so comma avatar is admin address. Okay, so all the fields we got. Now let's say user is equal to await user dot save. It's save into database. Okay, so once it is saved successful, so I want to return something. So just say response dot status 200 dot json. I need to provide an object with message. Let's take like this. Result is registration is success. Registration is success, and you want to get the user object. Actually, for registration, nothing required. We don't need any JSON token also. Only for login we get the token and all. It is just a confirmation that registration successful. And if there is any error, let's make console dot error of error and not errors, just error. And let's make respond dot status 500 server error dot json. So let's make here for error. Error is again an object. Errors errors with an array with the message. Okay, server error. Okay, you can do like this. Okay, server error. Okay, is it audible now? Audible now?
Yes, sir. No audible.
Okay, fine. Yeah, okay. So now let's start with login. Mm, register user is done. So let's start with the login logic. So I don't need this. So first let me start with check for validations. So body of you just take only email and password for login. So email dot not empty dot with message. Let's say email is required. One more password. So password is required. Proper validation we do at client side only. So try catch error, and let's take this is asynchronous, and here you have to get the errors. So let's this is same like the previous one. Okay. Okay. So now, okay. Yeah. Where we are. Yeah. So how to get the errors? I guess it is same like this. Let me grab the errors and setup. Copy. So same errors handling here. Okay. Fine. And in the try block error. Okay. In the catch block also same as it is. This is for catch block. Yeah. So now try what we have to do for login. So for login, you get only email and password, right? So let's say let something is equal to request dot body So you will receive two things. One is email and the password. Okay. So here also you have to do a lot of checks. One is okay. So check email is exists or not. Okay, that email is correct or not, and then check the password. Okay, if everything successful, then you have to create a JSON web token and send it to client. Okay, so first let's check the email is existing or not. So how to check email is existing or not? So let's user is equal to await capital user dot find one. You have to provide an email. So if there is no user exists for that particular provided email ID, so you have to send a response back. So return. Okay, it is the error. So return response dot status is going to be 401 and dot JSON. So provided with the error, let's take an object in that errors will be an array. One more message will be um, invalid credentials. You can make email invalid, but I want to make invalid credentials for both password and this one. And yeah, so once it is correct, we'll come to the next line here. So here I have to check the password. How to check the password is match correct. So I just check like this. So I do let is match is equal to await bcrypt dot compare the password and also user dot password. Okay, the password means the password coming from the form, and user dot password is coming from the database. So database password and form password, I'm comparing both. If it is not match, the problem. If not is match, okay, the password wrong. So you get the same error message kind of here, invalid credentials. Okay, so once everything successful, return statement is there. Yeah, once everything success, then come here. So now let's start creating the token. So to create a token, we need multiple things. We need to have a payload and we need to have a secret key. Let me add a secret key somewhere on my env file. I'll add a json or just say jwt, sorry, underscores you have to give jwt secret key something blah blah blah. Oh, don't make like that. Okay, that's my secret key. Okay, 3 4, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, so go to here. So let payload, how to create a payload is just take an object here, user. I'll take id, so say user dot id I need, and name of the person also you just say user dot name. So this is the information I want to stuff inside the token. Okay, this object information I want to stuff inside a token. And how to create a token is um I guess let token is equal to await. Do we have await? I get not all this. JWT dot sign. You have to provide the payload. Provide with the secret key. So process dot env dot secret key and one okay, options expires in. So when this is gonna expire. So let's say expires in some 36. The more numbers you can make in how much time you want to expire it, comma one function, callback function. Here you receive the token, I guess error and token. Uh, One second, I got a doubt here. 1 minute. If you go to the evening batch where we have done, I think NGRX events booking, we already done that. So server, router, user router. So how did we create a token? Okay, error and token. That token you didn't. Okay, okay, got it. It's not required. Yeah, error and token it is. Okay, here you write if there is any error, just throw the error and also return the token. So response dot status is gonna be 200 dot JSON. You provide with the whole data. So what is the data is, let's say result is login success, and the token goes to be the token, and also the user will be the user. Okay, so the user object which we have created, the same user I want to send it, because the same user I want to show once you have logged on the screen, right? That's user I also need. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's about login system. Okay, login logic, that's fine. And get user information. This is actually not required for us. Get user information actually not required because I already fetch user information here only. So let's keep this here as it is for time being. We'll discuss that later in a minute. If required, we'll do. I guess it is not required now because I got user already. So yeah, this is required. Create or update address. I want to update the address. Okay, how to update the address is so flat landmark and all you have to enter. So this is required now. Okay, so let's say again try catch. Let's get the error. So catching error is same like any other. Paste it. Yep, here for address, you can also check all the fields empty or not. So I just write an array in that body of flat dot not empty. So again stuck. Okay, so my internet is not stable, it seems. Just keep on coming and disconnecting. Oh, okay, 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 I'll fix. Yeah, this is actually not required. This thing not required because we already got the user. This user we already got. Okay, not required. This thing, if required, we'll see. But I guess it is not required. I just left it out. And update address is required. So error is same handling. So I just made the copy paste from previous one. So I'm just checking for the fields, body part and all. So not empty. So body, what I do, I just say flat is required. Yeah, the same way. Let's make it for all. Oh, I made a mistake. Not empty dot with message. Yeah, so flat is required. Flat is required, comma. Okay, so just say street. This is landmark. This is city. This is state, country, pin code, mobile, and same thing here. City, mobile, done. Yep. So here, let's get the entire form data. So I just write like this. Let's address is equal to. Can I write individual fields or can I write directly address. But how it is user separate address with object? Oh, okay. Then I'll take the address objects. Address with an object. Let's say flat request dot body dot flat. Long story. Street request dot body dot street and landmark will be request dot body landmark. Copy landmark city state country pin mobile. Done. So now what I do is I want to update this address part in the user. Let me fetch the user. But how I able to get the user? Oh, it's a long story. How I able to get the user? Because here I only get flat and all. But flat and all for to whom you do. Okay. So this is a private route. So private route means you have to provide extra middleware. So that middleware will extract the token from the client that contains the user ID. So for that ID, I will update the address. So first we need the middleware to handle my token because the private route. Actually for login registration, middleware, the token verification not required. Okay, to update the address, only the person who log in, they can update the address by themselves. Okay, but I have to get the particular user ID, so that only happens with the middleware token verification. So I guess we already done the middleware in the last class. Can I grab that? Yeah, middleware folder, we have authenticator. Same story, just copy the middleware. I just bring it here. Yeah. So middleware, what happened? Just check closely. Verify token. So this is look for the headers dot authorization. Do we have a authorization or not? Okay, in that I get the token, and if token not available, you get this. Okay, it will verify the token with the same secret key. I guess same key. Yeah, let me check the key as well. JWT secret key. Yeah. Next, no payload. Yeah. So payload. See the payload, you kept the user. For example, when we are logging in, see, when you're logging in, what we put in the payload, user object with ID and name, right? So uh, once you dismatch the, I mean, once you expand the token, once you decode the token, once you decode the token, you get the payload, right? So payload dot user, I'm putting inside request dot user. So request dot user dot id, you gives you the user id, correct? Okay, that's fine. So let me attach the event, I mean, this guy here. Okay, can I write something called here authenticate? Let me import. Okay, so just say constant authenticate is equal to require, so dot slash, no, dot slash middleware slash authenticate dot js. Okay, so let me add authenticate here. For private route, here I just say authenticate authenticator. So in authentication, this is going to expand, I mean, decode the token, and that is going to put the user information, the exact user information from payload inside my request.user. So request.user, I can have a user ID. So I can fetch that now. So get user information. How you get user information is now is let's user is equal to await. I think I have not taken a async. Yeah, async. So this is semicolon. Yep. So just say await user dot find by ID. I have an ID. Where I have an ID? Request dot user.id, request.user.id. So this is only possible if if it is authenticated. Okay, because in authentication only we have done that. We have stuffed the ID inside of request.user. Okay, that's fine. So now I get the user. If user is there, then only you can update the ID address. If the user is not there, if suppose the ID which you have provided is not exists, then what we do? If user is not exists, you just say a return statement, return response dot status 401. You're not authorized to update the address dot JSON. Let's make an object in that errors will be with the message user is not exists. User is not exists. Yeah, if not, if user is already there, then I want to update the address. So how I do? User dot address, user dot address is equal to my address. I just stuff this whole address, put in the user and save the user back to database. So user is equal to what I do is user is equal to um await user dot save, user dot save. So this is going to save the user to database, database. So once it is done, so what is the return type you get? So just say response dot status 200 dot json dot json. So I'll make what confirmation result, let's say address is updated, address is updated, and I also get the user object back. So let's say user information is just user. So this user contains a fully loaded address with existing details as well. Okay, I guess that's fine. Okay, so address update also done. Okay, this is all about user routers, but let me check the backend part. Let me check the backend part is working or not. So how to check the backend part is I go to yeah, let me check here. I guess it is yeah, this one Angular evening Kart Angular application. Yes. So here products we have checked, but users router we have not checked. Let me create something. What was that? First register user, and also please open your database. I think it is this guy. Only products are there. There is nothing called users table. We will make it now. Okay. So users, I make a new request that is for register a user. It's a post request. Create. Let me check. Is it post request only? Yeah, post only. Okay, you have to provide what? Three things: email, name, and password. Okay, let me provide a JSON. JSON. If you don't provide anything, what happens? Oh, you have to make a URL then. URL is slash users slash register. So HTTP colon slash 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 127.0.0.1 5000 slash user slash register. This is the path. Okay, so post method, I'm not providing any form data. If I send, you get the errors. Name is required, email is required, password is required, because that's what our validations logic all are required. Okay, let me provide. So let's say name field. So name is my name. Oh, it must be a proper JSON object. Name, email, uh, I'll just say the Naveen Sagam, because I have to check the grantor URL also. So the Naveen Sagam at gmail.com, and password, some dummy password. Let's say Naveen 123, and send error. Server error, object parameter error, parameter object to document must be an object. Got Naveen. Huh? How come? Parameter object to document must be an object. God Navina. Okay, something went wrong, dude. Registration. I got an object of name, email, password. I think while saving, some problem is there. Oh, okay, okay, okay. It's an object, dude. Object. User with object. Na. This whole data is like an object with all the field data. User. The whole thing is an object. Okay. So that's the case. I think any other places. I think in this is for login. Login also, I guess. Yeah, email is fine. Okay, login no storage, right? That's fine then. Login no storage. But for address storage is there. Address how I did. This is okay. Find by ID and save user dot address equal to address and save. I guess it is correct. Fine. Let me check now. If I send again, yeah, result registration is successful. Okay, if successful, let me go to database and refresh. I got the users table. If I click on that, yes, I got details. So name, email, password. See encode password. What is my password? Navin123. Okay. So avatar has come and is admin false by default. Ad- address is an object with all empty fields. Okay, that's fine. So now let me check the other URL also. Copy. This is my avatar URL. Let me grab the avatar URL. Keep it in the online and I get the picture. Yes, I got the picture. That's fine. So author logic also working. Perfect. Okay, remaining and all same to same, no? False. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so registration successful. And let's make another request for login. Login a user. Let's say it's a post request again. So create. So path will be http colon slash slash 127.0.0.5000 slash user slash what was that? That will be login. So slash user slash login. So it will be slash user slash login. Okay, so here you have to provide some details. Let's make an object. So here you must have to provide email and password. If I don't provide, you get the errors. Yes, of course, email and password. So let's say email. Just provide the same email ID. The Naveen Sagam at yahoo.com. I have to check that validation errors are coming or not. And password, I'll take some correct password. Okay, email is wrong. If I send it, invalid credentials, correct. I say gmail.com, correct. And this is something blah blah blah. I send it again, invalid credentials, that's correct. So when I say Naveen 123 and click on send, this time you get everything. Okay, login success, you got the token, you got the user information with address, created ID, email ID, everything has come. Okay, fine. So this actually I had to supposed to store in the local. That's fine. This is working perfect as expected. This entire token user everything has come. So result token user, result to token a user story. Fine. And what else? Update address. Because till now address is just empty. I want to update the address. To update the address, it is authenticated. So you have to provide the token as well. So let's make that one now. So let's say update or create an address. Let's make it as a post request only. Yep. For path will be slash user slash address. So http colon slash slash 127.0.0.1 colon 5000 slash this guy address, and I have to provide something in a form. If you don't provide, obviously you get the full of errors. Unauthorized. Okay. Without providing data, we supposed to get this errors, but we got unauthorized. Why unauthorized means this is actually a private request. Okay, it means you have to provide a token. Without token, you can't proceed. Okay, first token will validate. That's why you get unauthorized. If you go inside authenticator, you understand unauthorized requests. If no authorizations are there in the header. So let's make that now. But how I get the token? After you log in, you get the token. Na? ये वाला token copy the token. So provide as a headers, new header. Yep. So authorization, let's say bearer space the token. Okay. So I have sent the token now. Send it. Now you got the full of errors. Path is required. This is required. That is required. I understood. This is done. Okay. So let's make that now. Let's make the things. Yeah. So this request is actually a, I don't know when it is breaking. Yes. Okay. So actually for address update, no. For updating the address, it is private request. Okay. So private request means you have to provide the token. So without token, this cannot be proceeded. Okay. So that's why I've done. Once I log in, I got a token now. So that token I have added here in the headers, authorization, bearer, token I have provided. Along with that, I have to provide some data here. So here I got the errors because I have not provided any data. Okay, let's make the proper details, flat, street, land, park, and all. So let's say flat, let's say 501. Okay, flat, street, something. Okay, next landmark, something near Film City, and state, oh, city, state, country. City is Hyderabad. Okay, state and country, and pin code. Oh, it must be double quotes, and mobile number. I guess I provide everything and click on send. Yes, address is updated, and you got the address object fully updated. So now check your database. So just refresh, go address, 8 fields are there. If you can see the object format address, see updated. Okay, so if it is updated, once I log in again, I get address also. I get the address also. That's fine. Okay, so we got the three things working perfect. So now let's make the front end part connect to this backend. Okay, so first let's go to, let's close all the things. We already done this setup. Now let's move on to the client. So let's again stuck. What man? Then I have to restart my router, it seems. Okay, just keep on disconnecting, it seems, for every second. Yeah, unstable. Okay, so move on to client. So where it is here, so login registration. Yeah, before I touch this guy, do the NGRX setup. NGRX for login registration, right? So SRC app users let's start with actions, multiple actions. Okay, so multiple actions, actually we have three actions. One is login registration and update user, update the address. Okay, so you have to do that. So can I, okay, so let's make first of all login a user. So login user. So but before I proceed with login user and all, I need to define the model, right? We don't have any model, correct? In the models users module, there is no models at all. Yeah, let's make a model which reflects the backend. Okay, I create a model, a new TypeScript. I user is my model. I user again gone. Hello,
It's audible.
hello.
It's audible. It's audible.
Okay, yeah. So let's me make this model. So export interface I user. I need a lot of things. I need underscore ID of type string. But when I create registration, then ID not be there. Okay, let's make ID as optional. ID optional. ID name is required. Let's make exactly same as the backend fields. What are the backend fields? Backend fields will be, if you go to the models of backend. Yeah, here it is. Name, email, password, avatar, and all. So name is string. It must be a semicolon. Email string, password, name, email string, password, avatar is admin, avatar is admin, and also I need address. So address, I won't take an object just like that. Let me take the proper address object. Okay. So I'll just create another model at the client side. I create another model. So new TypeScript. So I address. Okay. So let's say export interface for address. So address multiple things required, multiple fields. If you can see here. So flat street, landmark, city, state. So you have to mention exactly the same case and same um, property. Flat street, landmark, city, state, country pin. City, state, country pin, mobile. Okay, I guess it is like same. All strings. Yeah. So address ready, and let's add it here. So I address. Okay. So I have to make some fields as an optional because while you're creating the object here, it throws error because all fields you have to provide. So can I make name, email, password should be there. Avatar optional, nothing to provide. Admin will come from database. Address also nothing you have to provide here. Okay. So that's my iUser interface. Fine. And go back to actions. Let's say login user. So same, just like this guy. Just say login user request. This is just a login user. Can we start with register user? Register a user, register user. This is register user. single user. Okay, so register user and what else required? Actually, for registration, you need to provide the object, right? While registration, you need to send the form data because even if you check the backend, even if you check the backend, the router, not that one, user router for registration, you have to provide what? You have to provide name, email, and password. So three things you have to provide. So here, actually, before I proceed with actions, it must be service ready. So based on service only, you can make the types. Correct? No. Without service, how you write the action and reducer? First start the service because server ready. We are coming from server to front end, right? So server ready, service you have to do. If service you have done, we can easily confirm what is getting and all. Okay, that's better actually. So let's go to service and we'll do this setup later. Okay, this is as it is. I'm not touch anything. Okay, let's go to the service and then we'll come back. So go to the services, user service. Nothing is there here. Super. Okay, let's say private what HTTP client of type HTTP client. I guess client module is added. Let me check now. Go to app module. HTTP client module is there. I guess for user module not there because we just touched user module today. So user module there is nothing called HTTP client module. So let's say import HTTP client module. Copy. Add to the imports array. Must required because we are doing clients. I mean we are doing HTTP calls from this module. Okay, so done. Yeah, we got this. Next, so I need three things. One is register a user, one is login a user, and one is update or create address. Okay, so register user, I'll just take like public register user. I'll take a function method. So registration, so let's data URL of type string is equal to, I use the backtick. So provide the URL. So what is the URL for registration? We already tested. This is the URL. So this is the URL. Paste it. But I don't want to hard code the URL. Actually, last time what we did we hard code the URL? One second. Last time what we did for men and women products, what we did for services. Yep, we are not hard code. We have used the environment API URL. Yes, super. That's what I have to use now. I have to use the same API URL slash this setup because I'm going to deploy to server. No, I'm going to deploy to Heroku. This must be dynamic. So if you go to environment API URL, already 5000 is there. So you have to make the remaining things. Okay. So let me get the environment here. Yep. So let's import environment environment environment. So I just make this guy dollar environment dot API URL slash user slash register. That is the path. Okay. So let's say return this dot HTTP client dot post provided with data URL along with my user object. I have to send a user. So let's say user of type I user. You have to provide I user. Yeah. So let's say the user object you have to provide here dot pipe retry of sorry retry of one and also the catch error. So catch error just like product out product service. I guess it is there here. Just grab it, keep it in the user service as well. I need to, yep. So let's make the catch error also this dot handle error. Fine. So this for register user and written type. So what is coming back from this registration successful? User router registration. What you receive back is this normal result string. Nothing much. Just only result is success. Okay. So can we get that in the service? Not there here. So I make of type observable of type with an object, just a result, just a string. Okay, and same setup I have to make it for my post. Okay, so when you register a user, you just get only the string result. Just if you can check here, just result you get object. That's fine about registration. Let's start with the login. So login also same like this. Copy. This is login user, and you have to get the user objects. And yeah, so path will be what? So slash login is the path. So let's make slash login is the path, and post data URL and username. That's fine. Handle is fine. Return type. Return type too many things. For example, if you go to the user router for login logic, for login result will be this one. Okay, status object result to token user. Three things will come. Okay, result token user. So here result okay token string user I user. Okay, and same these three I want to make it here as well. Okay, so for login successful you get the three parts because even if you confirm here for login, yeah, these many things will retrieve back. Okay, so result token and user, I guess that's fine. And let's make it for update user. Copy update address, copy. So here I'll paste it. This is for update address, updating the address. So you have to provide what? Only the address object, nothing much. Address object you have to provide. This is of type I address, and the path goes to be slash user slash address, and it's all fine. It's a post request only. Yeah, it's fine. But what you provide for the form, that is address objects. If you can see the router also, for updating the address you have to provide address object. This contains all these fields. So what is comes back? Yeah, what comes back is the result and user. Okay, result and user will come. So once a service, yeah, what you get result and user, you get no token, nothing, just user. So here also no token, just only user will come. Okay, same user objects will comes back once you update the address. That's fine. Okay, so we are made with what? We are done with three things: registration, login, and update address services. So now let's focus on actions, reducers, and effects, and dispatch them with the form validation. It's a long story. Huh? Let's start with actions here. So register a user. How to register user? Let me copy this and paste it. Just say register user. This is also register user. Yeah, remaining things are all not required. Only service required. This remaining all the guys you can remove because service already confirmed with everything. Yeah, close all. Okay. So register user. For user registration. Yeah, for user registration, what is required? See here, you have to provide the user object. That should be in the props. So I say props. So provided with the user of type I user. Okay, you must have to provide the user object to store. And once it is successful, okay, this is success and this is failure. So if it is success, if it is failure, so if it is successful, what you receive back? Successful, what you receive is result string. Simply, you get the result is string. Okay. And if it is something wrong, you get the error of type string. Again gone, again gone. Okay. I don't know, man. It shows correct connected only. Okay. So here register, you take the user, successful you get the result, and failure you get the error. That's fine. So three things. So same way, make it for all. I don't need these things, not required actually. Yeah, this for registration, three actions. Let's copy this guy for login. So login, what we do, uh, where it was login user. So this is just login user. This is for login user success, and this is for login user failure. And everywhere it is login. So this is login, login user, copy login user, login user. Yeah, for login user also you have to provide the user objects. If you can confirm, login user also takes a user. Returns is something much. Uh, you get the result token and user. So let's make them here. If login successful, you get back result token and user. If failure, just error string. That's fine. Simple. Yeah, this for login user. Let's make for other copy. Who is that? Update or create address. So this is for create address or update address. Okay, let's say update address, update address success, update address failure. Okay, so let's make this guy as update address, update address success, update address failure. Okay, for updating the address, what you have to provide is the address object of type I address. So address object of type I address. Okay, if it is successful, what you get? If it is successful, you get the result and I user. Copy back to here. Let's say result and user, no token. Okay, failure just string because as per our handling data, it is string only. Everywhere string you get. Okay, fine. So you got actions for register, login, and updater. That's fine. So now let's focus on a reducer. So move on to reducers, product, not product reducer, dude. User reducer. Where is user reducer? User reducer. Here. Feature key, I guess, is configured. Huh? Feature key not configured. Let me check. The global index order feature key is there. User feature key not there. Let's add that. Okay, it's a long story. Import star as user reducer from dot slash user slash reducer slash user reducer. Okay, fine. Let's add that as well here. Something user reducer dot user feature key value user reducer dot state. Okay, again here user reducer dot user feature key value user reducer dot reducer. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so now let's focus on reducer. So what things will be there? Obviously loading will be there. Loading, just take boolean. Okay, interface boolean and error message string, error message string, and what else? I need to have login, right? So I need to have a user object. I user address object separate is not required because user internally contains address. You can see user contains address, so extra not required. And user, okay. Token I need string, and what else will be there? Authenticated is boolean. Okay, anything else? I guess that's it. So okay, fine. So initial state of it will be passage, loading false by default, error message empty string by default, I user just empty as I user you take. Okay, token just normal string, authenticated just take false. Okay, that's fine. Empty objects. Yeah, this is fine. And now start with the reducer. It's a long story. So register a user. What to do? On you have to import actions. So import star as user actions from what dot slash action slash user actions. Okay, so let's write here on user actions dot register user comma mm, function. So here you have to take the state and also props, that is user. Again gone it seems. Yeah, something wrong I made. User. Yeah, I'm just writing the state and reducer. Okay, registered user. You have to provide the user and just say return the state. So how about return the state? So first of all, loading will be true for this, and actually for registered user, what supposed to keep in here? Actually, nothing to keep here because for registration, nothing comes back. Okay, just keep only this setup. I just want to make dot 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 state only loading true. That's it, nothing much. Okay, so comma again gonna. Yeah, let me copy this, paste. So register user success. You get back what? You get the results. Okay. So result also I don't want to store here. Just say loading false. Results is just for display error. That's it. Not to store in the local storage. And one more. Copy that and I'll paste it. Yeah. So registration failure. If registration failure, you get back the error. And this error, I'll make the error message with the error. Okay. That's about for registration logic. And let's start for the login logic. So starts with login user. So login user, what you do is on user actions dot login user, and also take some function. Here you take the state as well as something that's user. Okay, so return something. So they say dot 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 state, and also loading will be true. Okay, I guess that's it. Come on, what's the problem? Dot dot dot. Okay, yeah. So copy this, comma. So this is login user success. Yeah, for success you get a lot of things, right? Sorry, what you get? You get the result, you get the token, you get the user object also. Okay, so loading false. I take the user will be the user, and token will be the token. Result no need to store, and one more will be there, is authenticated is true. Okay, once login successful, authentication true. That's fine, but I want to keep the token and user in the local storage. Okay, even after refresh, I want to get the data. So local storage dot set item provide the token. Provide the token will be JSON dot stringify of token. Okay. Next, local storage dot set item provide the user JSON dot stringify of user. Keep in the local storage as well. Okay, fine. One more login failure on, but login failure just like registration failure. Grab the registration failure, keep it here. This is for login failure. Same logic. Okay, so this is done. And let's lastly update address. Okay, so on, let's make an address, update address. So let's say on user actions dot update address, one function. You get the state, and you have to provide the address objects. So just say return something dot 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 state, and also the loading flag will be true while updating the address. That's fine, nothing much. So here, so update address successful. So you get back result and the user. Okay, so I just make this is false, and anyway you get the user. So this user you update back in the local storage, because this user now contains the full of address, also the current address. So that have to be update address will be there in local, and also the user I have to keep it back to the local storage. User also user. Okay, fine. And one last thing is failure, just like any other. Failure just like any other. Just say update address failure, and same story. That's fine. Okay, so now we are done with the reducer. We are done with the reducer, and this reducer has already been configured to the root store, I mean root level ngrx store. So let me check now. So inspect redux initialized, so state and raw data. Check it out. Yeah, you get the product, and you get the order, and you get the user. So if you can see the chart, you have three. So product router, you order router, router. User just now configured, loading and all. So everything is there properly. This is your global state. Even more things will come, like checkout things and all will come here only. Okay, this is fine. Now state is ready. Yeah, so one thing we have to do is effect and also dispatch action with form validation. Let's focus that tomorrow. Okay, because there is a problem in internet connection, so I don't want to proceed now. So let's make those things tomorrow. Form validation and complete authorization will finish tomorrow, and we'll focus on checkout and payments and deployment. Okay, so fine. Thank you so much, and let's meet tomorrow. Thank you.